That's so beautiful. I mean, that day I can still remember it as it was just fresh. Like yesterday, everybody was just glowing. Everybody was having just a lot of fun. We were able to have a lot of sharing. The queens were looking really amazing. Loice herself was looking at the queen, Teti herself, amazing. I will request that I share my screen. Because I'd like us to have an interactive session today. I'd like us to enjoy this session because it's about you. As I began the session, it was all about what do you want to ignite? What fire is in you? Is in your, what is your inner fire? What do you want to unleash? Where do you want to step up? Which area do you want to step up? And how do you want to stand out? There, your host, Marcy Kinoti. I'm an executive business coach. I'm a proud mother of 4 great children. I'm passionate about elevating business founders and co-founders. I enjoy creating amazing solutions in the agribusiness industry. I love reading books. Yes, I am reading book club. And yes, I love reading books and listening to empowering podcasts. Not forgetting having lots of adventure. As we begin at the introduction of this book, Ignites, and Coach says there is always the next improved version of yourself. It's not the current, it's not the past, it has to be, and it's a version of yourself. Think through those words. Next improved version of yourself. So as we go through the sharing by the various speakers, as they talk, as they inspire, as they motivate, I'd like you to ask you a question. What is the next improved version of yourself? Whatever you were in the morning, 8 a.m., that's the past. The version you are today, 1 p.m., that's past. The version you were today, 6 p.m., that is already past. So going forward, in the next 1 hour, in the next 1 month, in the next 1 year, what are you looking at to be your next improved version of yourself? There's another amazing quote that we have among the first chapters. It's about each one of us carries potential to soar to great heights, fueled by the dreams we nurture and the spirit of possibility that resides in our hearts. Again, another quote by Coach Loice. So you already have potential. And yes, you can soar to great heights. You're fueled by the dreams that you nurture. And of course, there is the spirit of possibility. Today is a night of igniting that spirit of possibility, igniting your dreams, igniting yourself to go to greater heights. And there is one lady who has been able to be a testament about this accomplished lady. She is a vice chancellor of Machakos University. She has been a member of the book club since season 14. She is a transformational leader who has benefited immensely from various programs offered by Blue Waters Coaching.
Thank you very much. And thank you for igniting us. And of course, we would like to appreciate Coach Loice, who is the one who has brought us together this evening. We are discussing her book, Ignite, Unleash Your Inner Fire, Step Out, Step Up, and Stand Out. And I am very fortunate to be the one, again, doing the first 3 chapters plus the introduction. As has been said, I also did the forward. So to take us through today, under the introduction, which begins with a quote, that you were designed for accomplishment. Maybe let me just reduce this. Yes, you were designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seeds of greatness. And you can see the words that I have made them bold, highlighted. That is designed. Each one of us is designed to accomplish very many things. And that is what is called the potential in us. And all we need to do is that be able to be aware of that potential and be able to bring it out. Engineer, that means we are wired to and in readiness, just waiting to be ignited to get a spark that will enable us move to the success levels that are already designed for us. We are endowed with seeds. What is a seed? A seed germinates, a seed grows. And when we look at the mustard seed, for example, which is a very tiny seed, but as it grows, as it germinates, it becomes a gigantic tree, which at the end of the day is able to be seen by everybody. So that is part of what this journey of Ignite is. And we really would like to appreciate Coach Loice for enabling us or enabling us unleash that potential in us through the various programs that she has provided, and more so through this specific book that we are looking at today. So when we look at the introduction, part of it is, I looked at that topic, the inner potential. And Coach tells us that you are not broken, and I've added there, you are becoming. And if I turn it to myself, or you turn it to yourself, you say, I am not broken, I am becoming. And what does that mean? You are actually already great. It's only the spark that remains for you to come out, and probably if you could put it and say the eggshell, you are inside that, and it's only waiting for that right moment for you to burst that shell and come out. And part of the programs that Coach Loice has, which really unleash that potential in us, is the Unleash the She Leader program, which really, when I reflect back onto it, I see that it is one that really opened up my potential, opened up my view or perspective of myself, and what was that which was great in me, which has now been brought out. And Coach again goes to tell us that you do not need anyone to make you great or anyone's permission to be great, because you possess everything you need to be ignited as a woman. So it is already in you. It is just waiting for you to take that bold step to say, yes, I want now to move and be able to get out that the greatness which is in me. So it is, you don't need any permission. You already have it. So it's only you to open out and as coach puts out, you step out, step up, and be able to stand out. So the profound revelation that a woman can be all she wants to be. And I think for us ladies, it is very great because most of the time we have been anchored or think that we have to appendage ourselves somewhere for us to be great or to be seen to have achieved or performed something. But this is a very good revelation that as a woman, you can be able to stand out and do what you want and be what you want to be. Therefore, we are being called to this evening that let us all open out and ensure that whatever is within us is actually brought out for our success, for our elevation, for our manifestation. It is up to us to be able to bring that out. As again, coach says, an ignited woman knows who she is in the eyes of God, a daughter. Imagine a daughter. What can a daughter not ask from the father? You are a princess and destined to be a queen. And it is again within your power. It is again within your reach to be all that. So again, we are called upon to be able to get that ignition, change our perspective of things to be able to claim our position because it is yours. It is already, it is there for you. All you need to do is claim it and come out in whatever arena you are operating in for you to be able to manifest that being a queen, that being a princess, that being a daughter. The story, coach uses the story of Cinderella who ended up marrying the prince. That is from a maid to a queen, demonstrating the many possibilities that are available to us. There are 1,001 possibilities. All we need to do is get out of that shell and be able to polish yourself and stand out, and you will be able to achieve what you want to be in life. So the author's purpose to empower ambitious women through a 3-step transformation method, that is calling us out to step out, step up, and stand out. I think this is a very powerful method that coach puts out for us so that it's only in action. It is only in you stepping out. If you remain where you are and coil yourself, then nothing will happen. But once the moment you step out and you decide, I'm going to step up, then there is nothing that is going to stop you from standing out because you will have prepared yourself. You will have you'll have made yourself ready to be able to get into the arena and therefore stand out in whatever area you're working in. So I really appreciate our coach for this giving us this methodology, but more so for the programs that she has given us, which like the Abundant Lady, again, I'll keep on referring to this, Unleash the She Leader, because that is the program that really actually ignites you and you don't look back. Once you have taken that program, so many things are ignited in you. It takes you back to your childhood. It takes you back to what you are visualizing as a girl. It takes you to those plays that you were doing when you were young, that you are in control, you are in charge. And therefore, that is the real program that for me made the change and ignited my potential. So when we look at the beginning, what does coach tell us? She tells us that she takes us back to her childhood, the genesis for her coaching career, her burning desire to become a teacher, the imaginary conversations and the interactions with fictional students. And I think this reflects and takes us back to most of what we were doing also when we were young. Either if you were in business, you would either gather and prepare a shop and you start having business transactions with imaginary customers, even imaginary money. I think for me, I was using maize. Maize was what was available on us. So I would get the maize grains and use them as currency. And of course, you would transact with your customers, imaginary customers. And as you grow, you will end up actually replicating, or in one way or another, those stories of childhood come out to be true. And this is quite true of our coach. This demonstrates the power of visualization, visioneering. Where there is no vision, the people perish. That is Proverbs 29:18. And I think what is profound here is that when you dream, then you need to take action. If you just dream or continue dreaming, then they become just dreams. But you need to dream, visualize, but then take action to reach the goal. If it is some training you need to undertake, then go through the training process and get the skills and be able to achieve what you want. And if you are, if it is something that probably you need to work on yourself, then again, that means you take action. You just don't dream, you don't visualize and then do nothing about it. So she, as Coach points out, she took a step further and pursued a bachelor's degree in education because that was her dream. And that is what she had seen she wanted to become. Her desire to be a teacher did not materialize immediately. She became an administrator and went ahead to equip herself. And I've said, we dream and take action. So she took action to equip herself with both a postgraduate and a master's degree in business administration. Then she let us, but still, she strongly harbored the desire to be a catalyst for change, which propelled her to be the top student of the higher in the higher education diploma. We see that, again, as individuals, when you have that burning desire to be something, when you have a purpose, when you have a goal, a target that you want to achieve, it is, the passion is such that it is so strong, it propels you to surmount all the challenges that you may encounter along the way. So again, this is a good example for us that we need to take action. Yes, we may dream, we may visualize, but if we don't take action, then nothing much will happen. So as the years pass by, she has emerged as a leading figure in people development. And we can, most of us in this, and especially those who have taken her programs, can be able to attest. Once you have taken any of Coach Loice's programs, you can never be the same person again. You get ignited, you get the examples that you need, you get the motivation, you get the examples, and the very beautiful team of ladies that she brings around, where you can even be vulnerable without fearing. And that way, you are able to grow and grow in a community that is safe. So I think this had dream came true, and it has come true, and it is, we are seeing it in the manifestation or in the empowerment of the many ladies that are taking the dream. So that marks the end of the introduction. So when we go to chapter 1, this is where she talks of spark your dream, awaken the sleeping. Earlier on, we have that potential already in us. It is only to be awakened. We may be sleeping on so many possibilities within our lives, which once we are ignited, then we will be able to unleash. Again, in the quote that she gives us in the opening paragraph, or in opening the chapter, never underestimate the power of dreams and the influence of the human spirit. We are all the same in this notion. The potential for greatness lives within each one of us. And you've seen, I've actually highlighted that the potential for greatness lives within each one of us. I like the word, it lives within. It is ingrained in us, and therefore it is upon us now just bring it out. We already have it. And this is what is most profound, again, in the teachings that we get about ourselves. As we get self-awareness in us, then we are able to release that potential. So again, in this, what I saw was that actually your dreams are valid. All you need to do is spark them or ignite them. You have a unique fire burning within you, waiting to be expressed. So it's actually there. The potential is already there. It just needs you to take the little action to move it or to push it to the right direction. You have a unique calling, a purpose that only you can fulfill. Yes, you may be talked to, you may be exposed to several things, but if you don't take the action to come out yourself or to step out yourself, then nothing much will happen. And once you ignite it, you will illuminate the world with your brilliance, and those around you will be able to benefit. As you grow, you are also growing others. And again, as Coach always tells us about a leader being influential. So this is one of the areas where, as a leader, you illuminate, you influence those you encounter, and they are able to again, also ignite their own potentials. Again, you are told to embrace the strength and potential that lies dormant, waiting to be unleashed. I think it is, again, exactly what I've just said, that we have that potential and all we need to do is unleash. Your dreams, no matter how big or small, are the seeds of change that can transform your life and the lives of those around you. But you have to take action. You have to step out. You have to step up and stand out for those dreams to materialize. Coach goes ahead to give us the example of Mother Teresa, who stepped out of the familiar to spark her dream. And I like one of her quotes where she says, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to make many ripples." So ladies, let us all step out. Let us, in our own ways, in whichever field you are in, and throw that one stone, that pebble that will make the many ripples, whether it is in your family, in your spiritual life, in your workplace, wherever you encounter. Make the ripples so that your presence is felt, but more so that yourself are unleashed to be the one causing those ripples to happen across the waters that you get into. So you start with what you have. And I like this because even Moses, when we remember when Moses was taking the children of Israel out of Egypt, God asked him, "What do you have in your hands?" And that is what he used to be able to make the miracles, to be able to strike the Red Sea and all that. So again, we are being called that don't start looking for what is outside you. Begin with whatever you have. Even those of us who have probably challenges in finances and all that, start saving, even if it is the 10 shillings, even if it is 100, even if it is 1,000, start saving that. And it will make a difference. There'll be a difference by the end of the year that you will have money to save. Even if it is 1,000, you will have saved 12,000. It is different. It is not just like having zero. So at the end of the day, begin with what you have. Begin where you are. Don't say, "I will wait until probably I become this or I move here for me to be able to start doing this." No, begin where you are, just even with a positive change of mind and with a perspective that I will be able to do 1, 2, 3, or even with a plan. And there, move on as you can do what you're able to do, and you will be able to move or become a better version of yourself. As our host said, that you become a better version of yourself on a daily basis. So that ends that chapter 1. Chapter 2, I picked out on the topic, ignite your purpose, discover and align your purpose. And the opening quote, "The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but a life without a purpose." So purpose in this chapter is very key. And again, in life, if you don't have a purpose, anything, you can move anywhere around, you can do anything. But if you have a purpose, then you will put all your energy, you will put all your resources, and you will focus on that to be able to propel you to achieve that purpose. So it is important that in life you have a purpose, and for you to leave a legacy, that is part of the purpose that you need to have for you to be able to move on. So again, under the purpose, what is great, or what strikes me is the fact that you need to be authentic in whatever you do. Don't copy others to say, so-and-so is a very good speaker, I want to start speaking like so-and-so, or so-and-so has done this, I would want to be like them. Be unique in yourself. And again, if we borrow the example of Mother Teresa, she chose to help the poor, a line that nobody else was thinking about. That was what is in her, the passion that was burning in her. Our coach wanted to empower women leaders. So we can be able to authentically do, and once you do what is authentic to you, it's a passion that keeps on burning in you, and you will be able to, under all situations, sometimes even if things may delay, you will still have the patience in one way or another, be able to come back to, again, what was your original purpose. So here we are informed that you have a unique or a distinct voice. And even take yourself in your home, even in your workplace and all that. There is that voice. There is that which belongs to you alone. So that when you are present or absent, then that voice is absent or present with you. And therefore, as we encounter the various situations in our life, then it is important that we leave our footprints wherever we go. What do we mean by footprints? It is the legacy that you leave as you move from one place to another. The power of words. And this is actually very profound. When we look at Genesis chapter 1, it says, God said, let there be light, and there was light. Let there be this separation, and there was this. The power of words. And even in our own situations, look at the names that we give our children. Look at the names even of schools. Sometimes it is interesting that the name that you give a person, they grow with that, the characteristics of that name that goes with, or the characteristics that goes with that name. A place, sometimes it is named, and you find that things are happening in that place that are historically associated with that name. So there is power in words. There is power, and even remember from the many encounters that we have, you can bless, and you bless through words. You can also curse, and you curse through words. So words have power. That voice has power, and therefore, again, your voice prints develops gradually as your vocal organs grow and develop. So therefore, it is important that we embrace and tap into the essence within ourselves or within you, so that whatever comes out of you, let it be positive, let it be words that build you and build those around you, so that, again, we unleash whatever potential that we have and become better versions of ourselves on a daily basis. So Coach also goes to tell us that when you are fueled by passion and effectively pursue what you love, you become visible. Because if you copy others, then already the original exists. And therefore, you can never be better than the original. I always say there's nothing artificial that beats the natural way. So if already you have been given yourself to be, then authentically be yourself. Others can tap into your energy. You can radiate like a brilliant flame, igniting and illuminating the world around you. If you become you and you are releasing the sparks or the potential to others, when you are authentic, you are not wasting time trying to copy to outdo the original. But if you remain your own original, then you will even grow faster. And that is even the time that you will be ignited, and you will be visible. I also like this quote in Deborah. She was an amazing woman of her time. She did not merely wait for opportunities to come to her. She actively sought them out. And again, as ladies, we are called out to seek these opportunities. Let us not seek, they will not come to us on a silver platter. We have to go out. We have to, again, we go back to that step out, step up, and stand out. Because you have to take action. If you don't take action, nothing will really come to you just like that, the easy way. So again, for us, it is important that we have enough examples to be able to emulate that will enable us to move out and become and be the best versions of ourselves, wherever we are, in our workplace, in religious situations, at home. All we need to do is step out and be able to take action for the opportunities that are available for us. So in chapter 3, we are called to kindle our vision. Enlarge the pegs of your tent. Again, this is again talking about manifestation. And the quote, the opening quote there, everything is always created twice. First in the mind, and then in reality. Again, the two words there that stand out, the mind, it starts with your mind, and then it manifests itself or and packages itself into a reality. It's like an onion where you're peeling and now getting into one layer after the other layer. So the first layer is in your mind. It begins in your mind. And once it has materialized in your mind, or is that matured in your mind, then it comes out slowly and starts manifesting itself in reality. So I looked at vision and visualization, the power of positive thoughts. That alone can transform anything. The thoughts alone can be able to start the transformation, or the beginning of the transformation journey is actually in your thoughts. Your mind operates by creating mental images. It is those mental images that will now propel you to take action. You see a beautiful dress in your mind. then you actually tell the tailor, please, I would like my dress to be made in this, and this way. You see a beautiful house somewhere, then you start designing yours in your mind, so that even as you come out to even put it on paper and later on let it materialize, you have already envisioned it in your own mind. The process of manifestation begins with a vision, which can be defined as a clear mental picture of what you truly desire to achieve, do, or become. So again, here, we are called upon to look back into our inner selves, reflect onto what we want. And it is the reflection of what we want that manifests itself out and also manifests and propels our actions. So it is extremely important what we put in our minds. If we put ideas that are, the self-limiting beliefs, then you will be limited. But if you encourage yourself and manifest positive thoughts, then again, we will be able to see that. So vision is the source and hope of life. If you have no vision, then you have no future, if we may put it that way. Your vision fuels a burning desire in you that propels you into action. You have seen that beautiful house, and what propels you, what you need to do now is start strategizing, putting strategies in place on how you will be able to get that beautiful house into reality or into fruition. It is vision that unveils the invisible. Again, we have said it begins in your mind, and in your mind it is invisible. So once you take action, then it transforms the unfamiliar into achievable realities. And again, this was very clear in the program by a coach, where we do the repositioning in the end of the year, and then you do the visioneering at the beginning of the year. That visioneering, again, as I take my example, this is my second year doing it. I did it the first time in 2024. December, I did the reposition, and in January, February, I did the visioneering. And I will be honored to share what I envisioned and tell you what happened in that vision board, that I will be able to end my presentation there. So at the beginning of last year, 2024, during our visioneering program, this is what I put as my vision board, or what I came up as my vision board. I was at the center, and I was trying to do all these other things. And just to begin with, yes, my money has not reached this very, very far end, but I've grown. I'm not the way I began. When I look at again, even at my institution level, we were even able to be accredited. We have what we call a Luban workshop in our university, where we now are accredited, and we were given a second opportunity a second lease to continue operating. We also have already the Gitume lab in our institution with 100 computers, a lab which is open for all students and even for the community. Only last week, we now had the Ministry of ICT and the Digital Economy coming to even make presentations at the institution. So already that manifested itself. I look again at this end, the creche. It was my desire to establish a creche at my institution. We have hit, and we are opening doors for the students. So by the end of last year already, I had identified a place, and we had already started bringing in a few items. But now we are at the process of opening it, and we had actually said we would open it by yesterday. There are a few issues, but now we will proceed to open it for the students to use and the staff to be able to use it. My family, I had said I would have them at the center of my board, and I managed to be able to all the time attend to my family. Blooming, I said I will bloom wherever I am, and for those who are with me, they will know that we have continued to bloom as an institution and even as an individual. Being a Trailblazer, there are a number of things that we have done as an institution which are the first. I even have had our students go for competitions, even as far as China, on some of the programs that sponsor the competitions. I have my focus was also on the institution, to grow the institution both in terms of staff and transform the institution, and that is what's happening. Under my spiritual, I have also grown. I am now even in a number of committees in the church and doing a lot also for myself spiritually. Said I'm anointed, and it is also being seen in the various activities that I'm doing. I said I will take my institution to higher levels, and being that eagle that has a very big vision for the institution, and that all these actually in one way or another have manifested. They may not have manifested fully, but they are still unfolding and coming out. So that is the power of visualization, where you visualize, you envision, you put it even on a board, and truly, I saw by the end of the year, most of what I had envisioned came true. So I would like to end there by thanking our coach, and ending with a quote from Coach Loice, which says, remember that your achievements are not solely the result of your own efforts, but also the power of God. Pray over your vision. Thank you very much, ladies, for listening.
Amazing, 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 amazing. Well done. Can you hear me, ladies? Yes, amazing. Let's pass her some love in the chat. Let's pass her some amazing flowers, some love. Please do that in the chat. Thank you so much, Professor Joyce Agalo. You have shown us how to spark our dreams, how to ignite our purpose. And yes, you're a testament that it is possible. Yani, her vision board is already manifested, and we are just in March. Oh, amazing. It's beautiful. Ladies, let's pass some love to her. Amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Joyce. She has set the pace. He has done a beautiful presentation. He has shown us, we always say in Unleash the She Leader, that leaders show the way. And yes, she has shown us the way. Amazing. Thank you very much. We have 2 more speakers that will cover the next chapters. We'll request the next speakers to at least take 15 minutes at most for each. And if you really want a book, Ignite, it's available on hard copy at 2,000 shillings. I'd like to show you who is Professor Joyce. There she is, looking so beautiful, the queen herself, the leader herself. Amazing. Amazing. That's beautiful. We'll move on to the next presentation. Let me share my screen shortly.
Did you know that you can change your life? You can turn around your life. You only need to activate the she leader that is within you. The she leader within you knows what is best for you. And she only needs to be nudged. She is a queen, and she wears her crown with confidence. So awaken that sleeping queen. Let her rise. Let her arise within you. When she is ignited, then your life changes. You start doing things differently. You start having a different conversation in your life. A conversation that takes you from here to there. Would you love to unleash that leader within you? Would you love to activate that greatness within you? If that is you, then I invite you to ignite. Ignite. Spark that dream. Ignite your purpose. Kindle your vision. Unleash the magnificent queen within you.
Hear from a queen. We've just heard about a queen who has a crown. It's none other than Nancy Muriuki. She is a wife, a mother of 3. She's an insurance professional with over 30 years experience. She's a managing director of Waumini Insurance Brokers. Today we are having trailblazers, managing director of Waumini Insurance Brokers. She joined the book club in season 9 and has participated in a number of programs, including Rich and Royal, Abundant Women, Rich, Royal, Abundant Women, Women of Excellence. She has also done the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And she's in the I Am Leading book club. Over to you, Nancy Muriuki, Queen Nancy Muriuki. Let's have a bit of feeling about your crown. And yes, wear your crown with confidence. Over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Mercy. I will be off camera so that it doesn't interfere with the reception. So I start by thanking Coach Loice for setting up this community of like-minded women in pursuit of excellence. My hearty congratulations on the launch of this powerful book, which we witnessed and that we are sharing this evening during this month as we celebrate the International Women's Day, actually month, not day. Those of us who attended this book launch will recall that it was a show of elegance and royalty when the members had a chance to be together with your family, Coach Loice, to celebrate this great success. After reading the book, I noticed that it is a compressed version of all the ideas that we've gathered together and in the many books that we've read. Congratulations, my friend. I joined the book club in season 9, and it would be important to let you know what got me into the book club. I hope you can hear me so that I'm not speaking to myself. Can you?
Yes, we can hear you, Queen Nancy.
Oh, thank you. So just a recap of how I joined the book club. I will be sharing the screen shortly. I can see someone is asking. I met my friend Stella looking very elegant, trim, calm, composed. Asking Stella, she mentioned to me about the book club, Coach Loice, the 5 a.m. club, the Victory Hour, and many other goodies about the Blue Waters coaching. I was easily converted because the results were so evident. I was introduced to Blue Waters program, and I have been a member of most of the programs, the Women of Excellence, the Rich, Royal, Abundant, the Laws of Growth, and the book club itself. I obviously enjoyed instant results upon joining this club. Just to highlight a few of the benefits that I enjoyed. One was the Victory Hour. I never ever imagined, and I'm sure all of you, that one could sweat at home and break a sweat. It is possible to sweat profusely in 20 minutes in your living room. I had also gathered quite some weight by the time I was joining the book club. And I was moving from size to size without any caution. I started with size 12, then moved on to 14, and I was slowly growing to 16, as evidenced by the strength of the blouse buttons. You know how you try to button the blouse and the button, there's some space between the buttons and you have to look for a pin. Now, after joining the book club, the Victory Hour, I have slowly crawled back to my size. I can fit in my clothes without struggling to get a pin for my blouses. I had been reading books before, but with no timelines as to when to finish the books, if at all I would finish, and I would never journal. I now got into the habit of reading self-development books in and outside the book club, and of course we journal a lot. I have also introduced the book club to my staff in the office, and you'll be amazed to hear that our messenger and our rider are enjoying and sharing valuable takeaways from the books that we've read. We started 2 months ago and we've read 3 books and the results are amazing. The team is using amazing vocabularies and they are fully charged. In terms of finances, the first book that we read was on Money Matters. That was by Karina Hicks, if I remember well. I, just like many of us, had my money strewn all over in dormant bank accounts, in shares that I knew very little of. Some had even been taken to unclaimed financial assets. And the first exercise I did was to establish my net worth. For this to happen, I had to gather all these accounts, and it was amazing how I managed to gather all my accounts, all my shares accounts. And it is amazing how we sit back and not plan our finances, living a day as it comes. And out of reading this book, I gathered all my accounts and shares, and I'm now fully in charge of my finances. I was meant to share chapter 4, 5, 6. Can I share the screen, Mercy?
Yes, you can.
And can you see it?
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay. So, unleashing the potential and activating excellence for women is what the 3 chapters is all about. Empowerment, confidence, and leadership. And one would wonder, why are we unleashing? What is this we are unleashing? Unleashing is like you've tied something somewhere, so you are removing the knot so that you unlock. And by definition, unleashing means unlocking and maximizing one's abilities, talents, and strengths to achieve personal and professional excellence. It is about tapping to the greatness that already exists within and taking intentional steps to reach new heights of success, as Professor Joyce has said. And just to emphasize what Professor said, every woman is born with seeds of greatness within her. And it is important to nurture those seeds in order for them to grow. Coach Loice is urging us to live our lives to the fullest and to activate our confidence, because we are meant to thrive and soar like eagles. You recall we read Becoming by Michelle Obama, and here we had a nice quote There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. The limits are only those that we put for ourselves. And what is excellence? Excellence is being outstanding or extremely good. It entails going beyond the call of duty. That is not doing the bare minimum. This definition rhymes with the words of Saint Alamano. Those of us who are Catholics will recall that Saint Alamano was pronounced as saint last year in October in Rome, and I had the privilege of attending this auspicious occasion. And his motto when he lived was, "The good must be done well and in silence." And this is what excellence is all about. And I was talking about excellence, and excellence in all spheres of life calls for balancing of time and resources. For example, if you concentrate and excel in your career at the expense of your family, you will be time out to rectify relationships. So you really have to balance all the spheres of life. And I am sure we have all seen the wheel of life that our coach talks about. Now, for us to achieve excellence, we have to go to get the self-awareness, which is the foundation of growth. And for self-awareness, we require to identify and understand our strengths, values, and passion. We should conduct a self-assessment, that is a SWOT analysis on ourselves for personal growth. The same way organizations have got the strategic plan, we need to set up a strategic plan for ourselves and have a very clear, actionable goals that align with the vision of the person. And for the vision, as Professor said, this will chart the direction of where you're going. If you don't have a vision, you won't even know where you're going, or you won't know when you reach your destination. And resilience. For us to achieve excellence, it says my connection is unstable, but we'll proceed. We need to step out of our comfort zones so that we can achieve excellence. We should be celebrating every achievement, big or small. At times we let our birthdays just slide by, our anniversaries, our promotions. This is the life we are in, and we should celebrate if we want to achieve excellence. Engaging in self-talk, positive affirmations, being excellent listeners, and of course, having the positive affirmations which do not demean you as a person, which can only amplify who you are and who you want to become. Then we should stand out in all situations so that we find ourselves in. And those of us who attended the first graduation, we insist, I still remember what I said, that when you reflect on what excellence is all about, you live your life as an excellent woman, reflecting on everything around you. And from that time on, I stopped driving a dirty car. Every time I get in and I remember I'm a woman of excellence, I say, oh no, I can't do that. So we get too conscious about our environment. So for us to achieve the excellence, there is the power of networking and mentorship. We have to build a circle of supportive women. We surround ourselves with positive influencers like this group. And thank you very much, Coach Loice. Thank you very much, Mercy. You have stood with us over the years and we've enjoyed the circle. The circle is warm. We need to seek mentors like we have sought Coach and become mentors ourselves so that there is continuity. Once you're mentored, you also mentor for the best interest of the next generation. Let's attend leadership events and women empowerment programs for us to get empowered. We also need to prioritize our well-being and balance. That has got to do with the health, work-life balance. We engage in self-care, mindfulness, and stress management. The other day, some of us attended a self-care session, a breakfast session during the International Women's Day. I really, really missed that event. It was in our neighborhood. I would have loved to attend, and I could see how guys enjoyed themselves. For us to achieve excellence, we have to set boundaries to protect our time and energy, and it is okay to say no to something, including to your friends. We must own our success, take credit for our achievements, however small. We advocate for ourselves and others, not getting shy about advocating for ourselves. We should lead by example and inspire those around us, and inspire change in our workplace, community, and beyond. And that's why I said we have a reading culture in the office. Now, just to conclude, I wish to give you a snapshot of who Nancy is and how I feel like I am on my route to being a queen. I'm already a queen, but yes, there is always something to be done. I joined the insurance industry 30 years ago as a management trainee. As a young girl of 25 years, I was determined to excel in the industry. Upon inquiring on how I could excel, I was advised to undertake professional insurance exams and to dress well. I remember one old lady telling me, if you don't wear those shoes that say "ko, ko, ko, ko," you won't get promoted. I had then to invest in boutique outfits and shoes and dress really well, and I still do to date. I registered for my exams immediately. It was a very, very delicate balance between studying, learning on the job, marriage. I had my wedding almost immediately in 1997. Some of these young girls in this group were not born then. And I had to balance between this and my young family. In my desire to excel, I registered for 2 papers per sitting. Those of us who know, these papers were being done through correspondence. Nowadays, they are here. I did this in record time. My job in claims was very demanding. You know how you call insurance claims department, you make all the noise. That is where I sat. I would ensure studying very early in the morning from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then prepare to get to work. I went beyond excellence, and my boss was called Susan and the other one called Bessie Ambunya, may her soul rest in peace, recognized this and nurtured my potential to the extent that I was promoted to a managerial position in my early 30s. Back then, managers were between 40 and 50 years. 30 was too early to be a manager. I did my job so meticulously that I would be seconded in other departments within the insurance company. I worked for Pan Africa Insurance, currently APA Insurance. I would be seconded to assist in resolving stalemates, and this gave me an edge when I attended my interviews for my present position, since I was an all-rounded manager. I became a managing director in my early 30s. To ensure personal development, so as to get to know how to deal with when you become a managing director, you are dealing with boards, you are dealing with the shareholders, you're also dealing with board papers, which you have to prepare, and you have to convince the board on why certain decisions must be made. So I had to undertake many trainings. I offered to serve even in our Association of Insurance Brokers as a honorable secretary, a role I did for like 3 years. And in my endeavor to read a lot, I came across a book. The book was Think and Grow Rich. This was my aha moment. I read that you can actually achieve all that you desire if your why is strong enough. I'm saying this just to amplify what excellence is all about. I desired living in one of the affluent suburbs, and I wrote that in my notes. I indicated clearly that in 5 years, I wanted to change my address, and I missed that by 2 years. As for excellence, I endeavor to go out of my way in all I do. I am, however, confronted with very many challenges, just like any one of us. At times I cross with people in my pursuit for excellence. There are times when things are not done your way and you're tempted to do them yourself. I'm saying this because women are very fond of doing that. For example, last Sunday, I caught myself wanting to wash the lid of our dustbin as my house assistant had ignored washing that for quite some time. He would wash the bin, but not the lid. Upon hearing this, my daughter, who knows I'm a woman of excellence, told me that I'd better tell him to do so, otherwise I'll do his work, get annoyed, and still pay him. Now, to conclude my presentation, that's Nancy for you. But to conclude this presentation, I asked myself, what should we do as women of excellence, hence the excellence blueprint? To activate excellence, this starts from within, by embracing growth, confidence, and leadership. Women can unleash their full potential and create meaningful impact. Unlock your potential today by taking action. There's no better time than today, so just do it, just do it. Stay committed to your growth and confidence. My call to action is, what steps will you take today to unleash your excellence? Thank you very much for listening to me, and looking forward to interacting more with each and every one of you. Thank you. Over to you, Mercy.
Hey, amazing Queen Nancy herself. She has shown us she has a crown. She has shown us how it's worn. She has told the people who are around her how and where her crown should be placed, handled. It's amazing. Let's pass some love to Queen Nancy. That's so beautiful. That's so pronounced. It's so profound. He wore the Coco shoes. That was amazing out of the presentation. Yes, she wore the Coco shoes, and now she's a managing director. And she's still managing simple things like washing the bin lid. I'm sure as ladies and queens, you always struggle with some things because of the excellence that we want portrayed either in our houses or offices. Amazing. We still have people around. Please don't leave. We still have an amazing speaker ahead. And we will unleash Coach Loice herself. So don't forget to subscribe to Coach Loice's YouTube channel, Ignite Possibilities with Coach Loice, where you'll get all the book club recording, and you'll get to hear amazing stories of real people who have been in this book club and how they have flourished, because maybe just a word that you'll get to hear from a speaker, and it will ignite the dreams that you have long held. Let me share my screen. And there's a quote here that says, aim to help more people in their life's journey become better versions of themselves. What are you doing today? Who are you helping in their life to become a better version of themselves? We'll get to hear from Jane herself. She's been helping people achieve their life's goals, purpose, dreams, vision. In her leadership as a human resource person, she's a certified coach, she's a career analyst, and an accredited mediator. She serves as a human resource director in a tech company. Yes, in a tech company, technology company, you know who comprises there. She's passionate about mentoring the next generation of marketplace leaders. She finds her greatest mentors in books, and this passion has led her to join the I Am Leading Book Club, where she has the privilege of connecting with incredible women, incredible driven women who are radically transforming their mindsets through reading. She has deep love for nature, which brings her inspiration and balance. Over to you, Jane. Let's see how you help other people achieve their life's vision, their life's purpose, and how do you spark their dreams? Over to you, Jane.
Good evening, women of excellence. I'm excited to be here this evening to share my insights. And it's been very nice listening to the great women who come ahead of me, the queens, and all that they have shared. I think my business now is to crown it and see how do we celebrate this woman who's made this queen pet, who's brought this book to life, and a book that is living legacy. We are learning so much from it. A lot has been said, so I'll try as much not to spend a lot of time, but I'll just share what I've learned from the book. I've been looking at the last chapter, and you can be sure a lot has been said. Now, we're going to look at how do you start your courage? How do you build resilience and grit? How do you nurture growth? What's the place of collaboration in your life as a woman of excellence? And that is, how do you ignite yourself by collaboration? We're going to look about self-care, the art of self-compassion, and we're going to see how do you unlock potential. Then we're going to see how do you move from success to significant. So those are the 5 chapters to the end of the book, but I'll make it very lean because a lot of it has been discussed by my great earlier speakers. Now, as I was just preparing for this, I said legacy is about being found everywhere. I was online and I found these great women. And I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and honor Coach Loice for the work that she's been doing. I'm personally privileged to have met Coach Loice because I got to know Coach Loice through a friend of mine. And since I joined the book club, and I've done the Abundant Woman and the Confident Woman, my life has radically changed, my career changed, and I'm so grateful because in the book club, I've met great women. They may never know that I admire them immensely. I see the kind of energy they have every morning, the way they show up, and this gives me a lot of energy and vibe to push on even when I have no energy left of my own. So this has been a great community, and I want to acknowledge every lady who shows up, because sometimes you don't know when you show up whom you're showing it up for. For example, you could just be showing up because you need to show up, but in that showing up, you never know whom you reach out to. And I believe that's the power of collaboration, and that's the power of community. So again, Coach Loice, I'm very privileged to be discussing your work, and this is a mark of legacy and moving from success to significance. So hats out for Coach Loice. So as I was reading the book, the first place to probably look at is a chapter that talks about stir your courage and build your resilience and grit. And Coach Loice says, you got to feel the fear and face it eyeball to eyeball. Now, Coach, if you're listening to me, last week, I had a very heavy task to take. And I was reading this book and I realized I had to face my fear. And I faced the fear eyeball to eyeball. And I realized when I took up my assignment, whatever I thought was going to be so difficult, I got it done. And now I'm learning to wink at issues, call them by name, call the fear by name, and look at it and deal with it. I'm learning to choose courage over fear. And I've learned that whatever you talk to yourself daily. You create affirmation. You create visualization. You take everything you can do to face your fear by choosing courage. Whatever you feed grows. Now, in this chapter, Coach Loice is vulnerable. We say in this era, we need vulnerable women who share their stories without struggling to say that. So Coach Loice talked about her struggle with brain tumor, and she took us through the journey of how she got to hospital and how she spoke life to herself and the people in her life. And the most important thing I took out, because she stepped out in boldness, is that the fact that she was able to speak life to herself, even in terms of the most greatest difficulties of her life. And I believe the fact that she did this, we are the beneficiary. This is significant, is what we are benefiting. Now, my encounter with Coach Loice, for the few of the many times we've spoken, she's always asking me this, what is it? And I know maybe some of you are familiar with that. What is it? What is this that's troubling you? What is this that you've given mandate to take control of your life or your energy? Tafakari hayo. Let's face our fears. Let's move with resilience and grit. Whatever things that you're facing, you've got the potential and the power to surmount it. Going forward, Coach Loice has written about nurture your growth. That is cultivate a growth mindset. And I'd just like to highlight a few of my thoughts around that. You either decide to have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. So growth is about intentionality. You decide to grow or not. And there are no two options. If you're not growing, you die. It's as simple as that. So this evening is a call out to us to see what areas are we getting stuck. What are things you want to move and they don't move? You got to move out of your comfort zone. And that's my learning. Quickly keep learning. What is this that you want to do and you never get it done? Look at it and see what is the next step. That is growth. What's the next step that I can take to do that? Now, if you don't plan for time for your growth, it doesn't get done. Life is busy. For example, I'm a mother. I'm a mother. I'm working. I have many things to do. If I don't create time to think through the issues I'm facing or the growth I want to have, it doesn't get done. And we say in HR, the future competencies, the competencies of the emerging world is the ability to learn and relearn. The fact that you have known so much, and like Mercy said as they started, whatever you've done in the past 1 hour, the past 10 years, it may not be relevant for the future. So we have to call ourselves to a level of growth by continuously growing ourselves, looking for information, growing ourselves to the next level. And I get challenged by the next image I'm going to show you here. And if we were in a meeting where we could share notes, we could just talk about this and what we are seeing. And it's self-explanatory. It says, sometimes the chains that prevent us from being free are more mental than physical. Now, this horse, when it was young, it was held by this Sunday school chair. That tells you my faith, Sunday school chair. But as it grew, it didn't realize that this chair cannot hold it. It can move. But because of the mental programming, it's still held by this chair up to date. Wow, unto us, if we are not being able to move our lives, our careers, our inspirations, the things we put in our vision boards, because we have been programmed since as we're growing up, things people have told us, experiences we've had, and they've held us captive. We must make a decision, and we must be intentional about moving ourselves free from the things that hold us back. And by the way, guys, the things that hold us back are in our mind, period. It's not about people. It's not about your boss. It's not about anybody else. It's about what you continuously consume and perceive in your mind. And anytime you remember this peak, just look at whatever is holding you back and move away from it, because you have the power and you're enabled to move from any limitations whatsoever. Now, power of collaboration. Last week, we were given an opportunity by Coach Loice to lead the book club in the last session. And we got ourselves in a group of 4 ladies, and we've not met for years, but we're in a group and we needed to collaborate and discuss the book and post and show up. Now, Coach, I don't know whether we really showed up fully, but we tried. But one day, one of the team members said, guys, let's have a cup of coffee. And she said, at this time, let's meet. And you know what? For some reason, we all met. We had different schedules. I remember I was off town and my team, thanks Eunice, was calling us for a coffee. And you know, I felt power of collaboration. You have to meet people. And we created that time. Now, when we met, we had enough stories to talk. And thanks to the team, and we discussed many things. Sometimes in just sitting with people that share your values and inspiration, you learn a lot. You learn through storytelling. What have people been able to surmount to be where they are? What are people trying? What is their what brings them alive? What are they trying to do? What are their inspiration? And that is the power of collaboration, the power of being mentored by peers, like we in the book club. They're great women and great queens. You learn so much. You may never meet most of them, but as they speak and as they share their stories, you learn a lot. Life is not solo, guys. You got to have a community. You got to have people who call you out. You got to have accountability partners, because you can't do it alone. And that is for a fact. You know, you can take it to the bank. You can't do life alone. You need a community. And as you're doing that, look for mentors. You can have 5 mentors according to the wheel of life. You can have a spiritual mentor. You can have a financial mentor. You can have a mentor for anything that you're struggling. And I tell people, those of us who really like to say we are introverts like Jane, there are books written, there are podcasts written for every area that you want to grow. So let's move out of our comfort again and look for people to grow. But most importantly, like Coach Loice, I would imagine if she was to share her story, she's really grown because she's supporting people. I believe anytime you take time to help other people, to share your ideas, you also grow double. I think there's a study done that you learn 50% more than the people you coach. And I think the coaches here and the mentors can give us the experiences with that. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor. I know every time I seek to encourage somebody, I get double the energy to move on. And recently, I've discovered that my son, I have a teenage son, almost getting to 20 years. He tells me a lot of things. He's one of my buddies who challenges me and calls me to action. So also look for younger mentors, people who are coming behind your younger self. They'll tell you things that are incredible. They have no fear. Some of us in my generation here, you know, we agree with a lot of fear, but you find the younger generation that tells you move on, and we need all that. So my query is that as we go through this, because we may not have a lot of time to unpack this, who is mentoring you? Don't go this journey alone. Look for somebody. Look for a dedicated podcast. Whatever you need to do, you must collaborate, and you're going to find immense strength. Sometimes what could take you 10 years could take you 1 year when you have the necessary support and accountability partners. Now, as we go through the journey, there's a lot of demand on us as queens, as ladies, as mothers, as wives, as whoever else we are. We need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. If you don't do that, nobody does it. So I like to remind us we are special, but we need to take care of ourselves. Sometimes our biggest critics are ourselves, the inner voices that tell us you can't do it, you're not good enough, so and so is ahead of you. How have you been doing for all these years? You've not done that and all that. Guys, if there's anything I can ask you to take from today, be your biggest cheerleader. Look for the voice in yourself that tells you, you can do this, Jane. You can do this, Mombi. You can do this. Be your biggest cheerleader. Remember, whatever you feed is what you grows. If you feed your cheerleader to yourself, it's going to grow. And every time you find you're being able to move from one level to the other. If you decide to be a self-critic, that's just what you're going to become. And you don't want that to be in the space where you're the worst self-critic. So nobody is going to do that for you. Choose yourself. Choose to take care of your health. As you're growing older, you need to be balanced. And I know in the book club, we look at all this. Yeah. Spirituality, you know your space, you need to do it. And we've talked about personal development. If you want growth, it's inevitable. And you don't want to look after hearing this message, after reading this book, you don't want to look back and say, I wish I did one thing. You can choose tonight. What's the one thing that any of the speaker has talked about that you want to do differently? And 1 year back, look at it and you'll be happy. Now, the other thing that I learned, and we are winding up, is unlock your potential, create multiple streams of income. And coach says you have a purpose. Now, guys, I may not go through all these points because I'm conscious of time, but I'd like to give you a story. My personal story. I have found myself one day in an organization that one day we woke up and we found what we call notices on the doors of the offices saying this company does not exist any longer. Yeah. And yesterday we worked, but the next day there was no job. And in 2 hours into that day, we were told our jobs had been terminated with immediate effect. So my call to us, don't wait until, if you're employed for that matter, for that call where somebody tells you, you know what, it's been good, and you have to go home and you have to think about the medical cover that your employer provided and probably you can't afford it. It's not a good space from my experiences. So look for how you can convert your passion gifts. Start small. We're in a technology world. What can you do? What can you write? Look for a mentor again. You don't have to do it alone. Look for a coach who can support you in thinking, what can you do? And the Bible says, what is in your hand? Just what is in your hand? What can you start doing today so that you ensure you build your streams of income from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 and secure yourself against that story I've told you. You wake up one day, you drive to work, and you find policemen telling you this company you worked for yesterday does not exist and all your benefits are lost and all that. So I'm sharing my experience so that you don't have to go through it. You're gonna ensure you unlock your potential by looking at what are the opportunities around us and make the best use of them. Now, as we do this, as we read books, it's not about us, guys. It's not about us. I know I've said, let's take care of ourselves, but let's be clear that we want to leave an impact. What do you want to be remembered for, Grace? What do you want to be remembered for? You know, you don't want stories to be written when you're gone and people are creating stories, you know, so that you look good. You want to carve your name now in the hearts and minds of people. People are going to tell your stories by your point of impact to them. Legacies are not created because they're historical, they're created every day. Now, my experience on this is that in my career journeys, a lot of successes, a lot of my finding my pathways in my career has been with people I worked with, some junior to me, and they've gave me pathways into many things I would never expect. So what is your point of contact for every conversation you have, for every work you're doing? Remember, leave an impact in people's hearts and people's minds. That is most important. We've done a lot. We've grown ourselves. We're doing many things. But the one most important thing that you should remember, even for your family, leave an impact. And impact legacies are created every moment. Every day is a chance to do it differently and to leave impact. So, guys, it's if it has to be done, it's up to you. It's a choice you make today. What are the options? I like Nancy when she said, she thought, for me to grow in career, I need to show up. I need to look the part. That's intentionality. She did it. I would not be surprised that she's where she is because of a number of intentionalities of things she did, because she was very clear on where she wants to be. So for the rest of us, guys, what do you want to do? What do you want to be remembered for? Whom do you want? What better version of yourself can you start creating? Let's not be a victim of our past. Sometimes we are held back by our past, like that horse, and we get stuck with what people told us 10 years ago. You can choose to be an architect of your future today and put a drawing pad and draw what you want to see and start putting in the brick one at a time. So I'm grateful to Coach Loice. When I met her, I would say, Coach Loice, you have been of tremendous impact in my life in many ways than I can tell this group. But most importantly is that you lead by example. I don't understand how you show up on a Saturday at 5 consistently. I don't understand how you are showing up at 9 p.m. I don't understand how you do all these things. You are an example, and that's the best story you can ever write to anyone, where you show or you lead by example. Thank you, team, and have a good night.
Wow, Jane, amazing. You have done us proud. You have inspired us. You have attacked our self-belief system that we should not be held by a Sunday school chair. That was quite interesting. There is the issue of reverse mentorship. Are you looking up to younger people to challenge you, to support you, to motivate you? Do you have mentors around you? Are you collaborating with your colleagues? Amazing. Let's celebrate her. Let's celebrate her. And this is the moment. Before we shift to Coach Loice, what was very profound out of that presentation is just one thing that I take home away today, that my legacy starts now. The way I talk to the people around me, the way I treat them, my legacy starts now. I believe that one of the things that Coach Loice has done is that she wished to ignite in others. But guess what? She had to first burn within herself. That's why today we are celebrating the author. And not once, it's twice. Same year. Yeah? That's beautiful. How amazing. Authoring 2 books in 1 year. Authoring Ignite. Imagine within 1 year, Ignite was written, published, launched. So as we invite Coach Loice, and before I introduce her, remember that what you wish to ignite in others must first burn within yourself. Coach Loice, like Jen has said, shows up on a Saturday, 5 a.m. In the evening, 7:30, 9 p.m. And by the way, as we show up in each and every day in Telegram, she will affirm you. She will celebrate her. Even me, I also don't know. May I have the honor and the pleasure to introduce Coach Loice, who is a passionate leadership and transformational coach, dedicating to igniting possibilities and empowering women to step into their greatness and become abundant she leaders using a 3-step formula: step out, step up, stand out. She is the author of Ignite, Unleash Your Inner Fire, Step Out, Step Up, Stand Out. Through this book, she has inspired readers to break free from limiting beliefs, and you have attested to that. And she has several programs, Unleash the She Leader, which I've done, Now the newly launched program, Leadership Goals, it's a group coaching program for the ignited, abundant she leader. There's also Abundant Woman because she believes that every lady needs to be abundant. And all this a 60-day journey that will be transformative for you. You actually move from scarcity to abundance. She also hosts Rich and Royal Abundant Ladies Club, where every woman is empowered to embrace financial abundance. We all attest that we are part of the I Am Leading Book Club, where she fosters personal and professional growth by encouraging women to integrate lessons from transformational reads. The club's mantra is becoming, because it reflects her commitment to continuous development. Recently, she launched her podcast and YouTube show, Ignite Possibilities with Coach Loice. At this point, I'd like you, after this session, to just go and subscribe to that channel. There are amazing insights you'll gather from the several speakers that she has encountered with and who have shared their personal stories. And whether she's facilitating a leadership class or hosting inspiring events or speaking to diverse women groups, Coach Loice creates space. She creates spaces for transformation, helping women finish strong, reclaim their essence, and lead with resilience and authenticity. Wow! Let's give a hand clap to Coach Loice as she joins us, the queen herself, Queen Titi. Welcome, welcome, welcome aboard. Let's wait for our short presentation. Ladies, let's stick it through. Let's stick it through. We are almost done. Coach Loice, Queen Titi, take it away.
Thank you very much, Mercy, our moderator today. Thank you for helping me to take the back. So I want to thank you, Mercy, for moderating this for me. Thank you, Professor Joyce, for taking the first step and taking us through the introductions, chapter 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Professor, for standing in the gap for me by putting us forward to this amazing book that is already transforming lives. Every day I receive a note that, oh, my life is changing. My life is changing. Diana Philip, kindly mute. Thank you. Kindly mute. Yes. Mercy, you can help me muting. I've made you a co-host. Yes, so Professor did a forward for my book, and I'm so grateful. She has been, I remember when she was being, I almost said launched, to be the Vice Chancellor, installed to be the Vice Chancellor of Machakos University. And she joined us immediately, and she did together the Unleash the She Leader program and Abundant Woman program at the same time. That means she would have a class from 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. on a Saturday morning, 6:30 to 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Wow, such resilience of a she leader. And immediately she did other programs. She did the She Speaks to Inspire and Impact. She did the Confidence Blueprint. She has done Visioneering not once, more than once. I think this is the second time. And now she's enrolled in Leadership Gold. Wow. These are the women that I surround myself with. So that is the answer that you are seeking. Then we have our next speaker, who was Nancy. Nancy, an amazing woman. I think the first time I met her, we were chatting and she was telling me she will join, I think after she had been introduced by Stella Maris Mulai. Most of us know Stella Maris.
And she joined us, and she did apart from the book club, she joined the Rich and Royal Abundant Women's Club, and she also did the Invaluable Laws of Growth. She was there for the graduation, and she's not yet over. It's not over until you win. Wow, amazing. Nancy, thank you so much. Thank you because I think I've been journeying with you to your new, as you said, your new address, Runda. That is so inspiring for some of us just to dream and dream again. Mary, are you listening to that? Yes, that was Nancy. And while we were at the Glee Hotel in Runda, she was telling me, my neighborhood is just 5 minutes away from me. And I was saying, yay! Yes, that is it. The power of dreams that we've talked about this evening. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, Jen Gikonyo. Wow, it has been a journey. I remember all those evenings we would chat and your journey of transformation and leaving employment. I was still with you. We came back we went to consulting. We are still with you. You went back to this new job. We are still with you. Amazing, amazing. Jen started with the Abundant Women's Program, and that shifted. I remember our chat telling me she has listened and re-listened again, and everything is just transformational for her. So these are the kind of ladies who were with us in this month when we were celebrating women, and we started the book Ignite, and these ladies were there. The first one, Professor Joyce, is a golden diadem. Then we have the Igniter, who is Nancy. Then we have the Ignited Mover, who is Jen. So you can see somebody talked about the names that we use, and we try to do that in the book club, that we identify ourselves with names that elevate us and take us to the next level. This evening, I'm so excited that we have completed that book, and allow me to share my screen. I want to read the question. I hope I will see it. I think I've done it. Yes. So allow me to read the dedication for this book. Inside every woman, and I'm speaking to you this evening, is a little girl trapped within an adult woman's body. And sometimes we don't realize that little girl is alive and she has dreams. Within her, great dreams reside. And as you know, some dreams are vibrant, and flourishing, and you are already in them, while others have been subdued by circumstances, or they have been stifled by people and events. And the great question this evening is, who caged your dreams? Because that little girl, if you go back to her, she had a vibrant dream. She had a dream to change the world. She would say, I am a global change maker. Yes. Who clipped your vision? Just reflect back. Is it that woman who told you that you can't, that you are not good enough? That unless you go with those shoes, you can't move on? Who clipped your vision? I am here to tell you, it is not over. It is your time to soar. It is your time to unleash that fire within you. Why? Because the blue skies await your ascent, and the vast blue oceans call you for your journey. So I dedicate this book, Ignite, to every woman listening to me who wants to be more. The woman who has dreams and visions and desires to ignite them. That's the woman I'm speaking to. The woman who wants to live a purposeful life, just as you've heard all the stories this evening. It's for the woman who is committed to arousing the royalty within her and live as a queen. It is for you, the woman who desires to excel, to be confident, and to have good courage. I think those are the first very chapters of the book. And it is my prayer, and I continue to pray that this book activates your greatness, that you will love, appreciate, and acknowledge yourself more and more. That you will know as you listen to me that this world requires a woman ignited. A woman ignited.
My name is Loice Muteti, a leadership and transformational coach. I am the newest author in town. I have been certified by the John Maxwell certification team. John Maxwell is the #1 leadership mentor in the world. I am here to help you to rediscover yourself and to tap into your strengths, that hidden potential that is within you needs to be unleashed so that you can serve the world with greatness. Helping ladies to transform their lives and to ignite possibilities in their lives. Ignite, unleash your inner fire, step out, step up, stand out. I have introduced a show, Ignite Possibilities with Coach Loice. This is a show that speaks to women, that shares their stories of transformation, their stories of courage, their stories of their journey from where they have been to where they want to be.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So as we come to the end of this program this evening, I want to say that my journey has been a journey of expansion. And I want to just talk a little about expansion because we are in a Jubilee year. This is our year of breakthroughs. This is our year of expansion. So expansion, what does expansion mean? Expansion is an energy that helps you to move out of the box that we have caged ourselves in. That box that is full of limits that I can't. Now we are expanding, we are extending the pegs of our tent, and we are moving further and further. So I want you to think of yourself in that energy and start just reflecting, how can I expand in 2025? You will realize that this journey is a journey that you must be courageous for you to start this journey, even to continue. You must be a woman who is confident. I think those are the next few chapters of my book. It's a woman who nurtures her growth, who can grow. You can't stay and keep on doing things the way you have always done and expect yourself to grow. You must nurture your growth. I think someone spoke about you. So I want to congratulate you. Please pat yourself on the back, because this far you have made it. You have read the book. You are expanding. You are no longer the way you used to be. So that is my journey, as you have heard from all those video clips. And I'm proud of it because I have moved from one space to a different space, and there's no end to it. I think Professor said it's becoming. It's a journey. There's no destination. And every day you're just going to the next step of being an improved version of yourself. And that is expansion. That is the energy of expansion. And this reminds me of the prayer of Jabez. Remember that prayer? Yes, Jabez had a desire to expand beyond the territories that someone had put him into. So this evening, I call upon you to ignite. Ignite means expand, expansion. And you can imagine expansion means increasing the container that you are. Because if you have got a small container, you're just going to receive very little. But as you expand your container, you're going to have more and more. You'll be able to get more to yourself. So from today, because that is the essence of my book, to unleash that inner fire is your potential. So I'm happy that you have read it, you have applied that, and we do that in the book club. We keep on applying whatever we are reading. What else I want to say? Yes, I want to talk about expansion, meaning that you go full out. Full out. It's immersion. There are no limits. You are unlimited. And the moment you start believing that and taking action, then you realize by the end of 2025, your life has literally changed. So as we read these books, it's not about the content. Knowledge is everywhere, but it's about the application. It's about embodying that knowledge to become that next best version of yourself. So to ignite is to spark the full potential. You are not boxed anywhere, so that you become unlimited. And that is the only way that now you can start illuminating. I think it's Professor who talked about that, to be that lighthouse for others. Because a lighthouse, you see the sailors look at the lighthouse and there's hope. You become a beacon of hope. And you start now to elevate, to increase the capacity of your vessel. It means letting go of all the limiting beliefs. To ignite is to be persistent. To ignite is to collaborate with others. You realize you can't do this alone. You need others. And that's why the Blue Waters coaching platform offers this for you to increase yourself, to elevate, to expand, to be a woman of excellence, the way Nancy has told us this evening. So let's do this, and this starts with the power of decision making. It's about the choices you make, just like Jen has told us. And I'm so excited that you people have listened to these amazing women who shared their journeys of transformation, and we together, it's collective energy. Together, we are turning around, we are changing the world, and we are global change makers, starting with ourselves, our families, our communities, our country, our continent, to the whole globe. What an amazing thing. Thank you so much for your support. Those ladies who have bought the book and those who have not, kindly, you have to read my book, Buana. So invest in that book. Don't be my friend and you don't read my book. How can that be? So let's collaborate, let's support one another, and let's move to the next level. As we come to the end of season 18, now from 1st April, it's season 19. And we are growing, because there's no end to grow. The moment you stop growing, then you are dead. You are dead, like dead. You'll find yourself stuck in your career. You'll find yourself stuck in your marriage. You'll find yourself stuck in your relationships. In your business, you will not grow, because you have to grow and to be in a state of flow. So I want to thank you so much. Thank you, Mercy, for this amazing opportunity. I am so excited to have all these ladies staying until this time, almost 9. I can't take this for granted. I am very happy and grateful. Thank you so much, Mercy. Back to you. Thank you.
Amazing. I think we need to put our hands together for Coach Loice. Woo! It's been an amazing quarter. Having the highlights, the peak of this quarter being Ignite. I'm sure, ladies, you can attest that there is change in the air. Yes, this is a year of Jubilee. Let's move together. Let's change the globe. As Coach has said, we are global change makers. Please give a round of applause to Coach Loice. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for the sleepless nights, for the dedication, just to make sure that the birth of this book was real. Thank you, Coach Loice. Thank you, ladies. You've been an amazing audience. It's been my pleasure to serve you. Let's start from now to be the change that we want to see in our families, in our communities, in the continent, and in the globe. Amazing, amazing. But don't forget, for those ones who have not read the book or bought the book, please buy it. It's available at 2,000 shillings. Let's remember to subscribe to YouTube. Thank you for sacrificing your time up to this hour. We are so blessed and we're privileged to have been with you. You've been an amazing, amazing team. Thank you very, very much. You can feel free to leave at your own leisure or pleasure. Keep going. And let's not forget, legacy starts now. We're at 8:51. So our legacy starts counting for generations to come at 8:52. Let's not forget that. Let's not stop growing. Let's keep at it because the world needs to see our lights starting from now. Feel free to live at your own pleasure and leisure. It's beautiful. It was amazing to serve you. That's so real. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you so much, Professor Joyce. Thank you, Jane. Thank you for showing the ladies that yes, it is possible and that we have limitless opportunities. Yes, we do have limitless opportunities. Let's keep it that way. And I'm sure by the end of this year, we'll have more change makers in this journey. Thank you, and thank you. Amazing. So have a good night to all. It's been my pleasure to serve you. Looking forward to engaging with you in the next book club meeting in the next quarter. Thank you very much.